This conference will now be recorded.
Hi Vinay, we are not able to hear you.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so guys, now as we have discussed in our previous class, that today we are going to start with the practical. Okay, so now is it audible, guys, for everyone? Now is it audible? Anyone, can you please confirm?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
please.
oh, thank you. So now, so as we have discussed that today we are going to start with the practical part. So you guys have seen that in the data warehouse, I will just do a small recap for that. So in the data warehouse, topics are done, but few topic is pending. Like example, you can say ETL architecture is pending, then slowly changing dimension and types, uses of the SCD. So 2-3 topic is pending. So when these all topic will get covered, so guys, these topic will get covered under Informatica, because to cover this topic, Informatica is required. Okay, and that time we should not forget, by any means we should not forget. So in under Informatica also I have mentioned the topic. You can see in introduction of the slowly changing dimension, like SCD type 1, type 2, type 3, and so on. Okay, so that is fine. Now, so now guys, today we are going to start with the SQL. So what actually the SQL is? So SQL actually it stands for SQL. It is also called as SQL. Both are same thing only. Both are same thing only. Okay. So now in the real time scenario, this SQL guys, it will get utilized by many people. Many people means what? Many people means this SQL will get utilized by ETL tester, ETL developer, Java tester, Java developer, .NET tester, .NET developer, by Python, by scripting, by big data tester, by Hadoop tester, by database tester, quality analyst, business analyst, contract analyst, team lead, manager, director. In one line, you can say 99.99% of the people, those who are working in IT, they have to use it. Hardly maybe 0.01% is the chance that they are not using. Okay, and if anyone is telling that, yeah, I'm working in IT, but I'm not using the SQL, then it is a myth. It is completely a myth. So it means the person is not purely working into the IT. IT means it is a backbone for the IT. SQL. In one line, you can say it is a door one to get into enter into the IT market. Okay. So now guys, so today first I will teach you guys that how to open the software. So what you have to do, so first you guys have to come to the folder where you have kept all the software after the download. So I have kept my all the software in the C drive. Okay, so first I will come to the C drive over here. We have to make a double click, and first we have to come to the software folder. Once your software is downloaded and installed, it will look like this. Okay, so here in the yellow file, yellow SQL developer, you have to make a double click. Again, you have to make a double click. So here you can see at the down, second last icon, SQL developer application is there. So for this, you have to just make a right click. Okay, first single click and then make a right click and pick the option pin to taskbar. Only one time you have to do this setup, not on the daily basis. Okay, and then close it. The moment you will close it, guys, so here you can see SQL icon you will get. And whenever you want to open your software, you just have to make a double click on this one. Okay, the moment you will make a double click, here you can see the software will get open. Now, here you can see this is how it will get open. And on the left side, you will have two schema, admin and the Oracle SRC. So we will do all the practice under Oracle SRC. So for that, we will make a single click on Oracle SRC and we'll give the password and then click on open. Okay. So here you can see it is running, and now just wait for 10 seconds. Now, so you can see guys, this is how your software will get open. Okay. So now always just make a double click so you will get the option. Now, so today we are going to start with the very first topic is DDL command. The very first topic in the SQL case, it is DDL command. So under the DDL, we are going to learn create, then alter, okay, alter, and then drop. These are the topic which we are going to learn. So first is the create statement. So guys, what is the create statement? So with the help of create statement, we can create a table. Okay, with the help of create statement, we can create a table. Consider one example that you guys are working in Wipro. Okay, and Central Mall is your client. So one day the client came and they told, please create one table with column ID, name, and location. Then what we have to do? We have to create it. How we can create it? We can create it by using create statement, which you guys have seen on the day one also, correct? In the demo. So by using the create statement. So first what we have to do? So guys, first we have to mention create table. Okay, we have to mention create table and then table name. Whatever table name you guys want, you can mention. There is no problem. So imagine that Central Mall is our client. So we will just mention Central Mall. Okay, any name you can give, no problem. Central one space mall. Okay, so guys, if I will give the table name like this, then it will throw error. Why it will throw the error? Because just now I had confirmed that first we have to mention create table and then table name, and whatever table name we want we can mention. So here we had mentioned, then what is the issue? So guys, the issue is that your table name should not contain any space. Okay, then what is the solution? Then the solution is either you can remove this space like this, or you can give central underscore mall. Both are correct approach. Anything you can. Okay, so that is fine. So first we have to mention create table and then table name. Whatever table name you guys want, you can mention. Okay, then we'll press enter and simply I will open the bracket. So guys, in the SQL, the number of times we used to open the bracket, same number of times we have to close it. It is mandatory. Okay, so imagine that randomly I will 2 3 enter, I will press and I will close the bracket. So here I had opened the bracket and I closed the bracket. Then then whatever the column name is requested, all the column name guys we will mention inside the bracket only. Okay, so what are the column requested? So imagine that they have requested the column ID, name, and location, correct? So we will mention the same thing, ID, then comma, press enter, name, comma, again enter, and location. Okay, means whatever column name you guys want, all the column name one by one, we have to mention ID, name, location, email ID, phone number, means all the column which you want. And whatever the extra space is there, we will remove it. Okay, now anyone have any question guys up to here? Okay, silence means no question. Then again I will do a small recap. So first what we have to do? So first we have to mention create table and then table name. Whatever table name you want, you can mention. There is no problem. Then you have to open the bracket and you have to close the bracket. Why? Because in the SQL, it is mandatory. The number of times we used to open bracket, same number of times we have to close it. And inside the bracket, all the column name we have to mention, whatever column name we want. So imagine that we want ID. So we have to mention ID, then comma, then name, then comma, then location. After location, no comma. Why? Because comma is used only for separation between the two columns. So after ID, name column is there. So I had given comma. After name, location column is there. So I had given comma. But after location, no column is there. So I haven't mentioned comma. Okay. Now, anyone, any question guys up to here? Okay, silence means no question. So guys, in the Excel file or Word file or Notepad file, you guys have seen that if you will create any table over there, Then in any of the column, you can insert any value. Okay, in any of the column, you can insert any value. But in the SQL, we cannot do like that. Okay, why? Because if you want to insert any value in the SQL table, then we have to inform in advance. We have to inform that in ID column in future what type of data it will contain. Okay, so imagine that in the ID column in future we want to insert only numerical value. So what we have to do here? I have to mention number. Okay, number means what? It means I am telling the SQL that in the future ID column will contain numerical value only. So number, and simply I will open the bracket, mention 2 and close the bracket. What does it mean, this 2? So guys, this 2 doesn't mean that in future I can insert only value ID 1 and 2. No, this 2 is the length defined. Okay, this 2 is the length defined. Means in future I can insert any value which contains up to 2 digit. Means starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 up to 99 we can insert. But on the same manner, if you will try to insert a value 100, then it will throw error. Why it will throw error? Because 100 contains 3 space 1, 0 and 0. Okay, and here length defined is only 2. Then what is the solution? Then the solution is in place of 2 we will mention 3. What do you mean by 3? So guys, 3 means it is a length defined. It means in the ID column, we can insert any value, any numerical value, which contains up to 3 digit. Means starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 999 we can insert. But on the same manner, if you will try to insert a value called 1000, then it will throw error. Why it will throw the error? Because 1000 occupies 4 space. 1, 0, 0 and 0. 4 space is there and length defined is only 3. Then what is the solution? Then the solution is you can mention 4 like that. So here you can mention any value. It will be completely based on business requirement or your need. But minimum you have to mention 1. 1 is minimum mandatory, or maximum you can mention 32. That is the max limit. Okay, so imagine that I will mention 2 only. So on the same manner, for every column, one by one, we have to inform. Next column is what? Next column is name column. So name column means in future I want to insert name value. What values we want? So imagine that in the future I want to insert a value like Banu. So Banu is what? So Banu is a character value. Correct. I want to insert a name called Dipti. Dipti is what? That too is the character value. I want to insert one name called Subhada. So Subhada is what? That too is the character value. But one thing, did you guys notice that no one name length is fixed? Okay, Subhada. So Subhada name contains close to 8 characters. Dev contains 3 characters. Tom contains TOM, it contains only 3 characters. John, it contains 4 characters. So here guys, no one name length is fixed. Correct. So everyone name is getting vary. So these all are character value and everyone name is getting vary. So here what I can mention? I can mention varchar. Okay. So var, varchar. It means what? It means I'm telling the SQL that in future in the name column I will insert varying character data. Okay. And here on the same manner I will define the length. Imagine that roughly I will mention 20. So 20 means what guys? 20, 30, anything you can mention. Imagine that I have mentioned 20. 20 means what? So 20 means 20 is the length defined. Okay, 20 is the length defined. Means in future, in the name column, in future, I can insert any name which contains up to 20 later. Means you can insert Tom also, John also, Ramalingeshwara also, Subhananda also, any name which contains up to 20 letters, it is allowed. But imagine that someone name contains 25 letter or 28 letters, then here you can safer side you can mention 30. Means whatever you want as per the business requirement, we can mention. Okay, but mandatory minimum we have to mention one. Okay, and maximum we can mention 4,000. That is the max limit. Okay, and minimum we have to mention one. Okay, so imagine for safer side, roughly I will mention 20. Okay, now that is fine. Name column is also done. Next one is location. So location is what, guys? So location like Pune. Pune contains four letters Pune. Imagine Chennai, Chennai. Imagine that Hyderabad, Hyderabad. So you can see that again it is same like name only. Same like name only. No one name length is fixed. No one location name length is fixed. Everyone name length is getting vary. So it is same like name only. So what we can do? So here also we can mention varchar. Varchar, and imagine that I will mention roughly 20. Okay. 20 means what? Means any location whose letter contains character value or letter contains up to 20 letter, that is allowed. Once it is done, then at the last we will put semicolon. Semicolon means what? So guys, semicolon means end of statement. Okay, you guys have seen in the movies, once the movie is over, then what notification you will get? So you will get the notification the end. The end means movie is over. On the same manner over here also, we have to inform the SQL by putting semicolon. Semicolon means end of statement. And then we have to execute. How to execute? You just have to select the entire syntax and hit on this button. The moment you will hit, here you can see we got the notifications, table, central mall created. Okay, if you want to see your table, you have to just mention select star from table name. What is the table name? Table name is central mall. Central mall. Semicolon. That's it. Okay, the default syntax we have to mention select star from table name and then execute it. The moment we execute it, observe the data in the output window. This is the table with all the column which we had mentioned in the create statement. We had mentioned ID, name, location. So all these three columns are visible. Okay. Now anyone, any question?
I have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so the data type, right? For numbers you
Yes.
have mentioned, for the varchar also mentioned. What if we have both, like for example, in the email address, which data
Mhm.
type we should use?
So there also you can use varchar, char or varchar any. Just wait for
So it,
next 15 minutes. That is our coming scenario. But as you had asked the question, so we can mention char or varchar. Why? Because char and varchar, guys, it is a evergreen data type. It will allow you to insert any type of value. Any type of value apart from date value, you can insert any.
okay.
Okay, no problem. But that is
Can
also
you
our
can we
scenario. Mhm.
can we mention name and location name in this query, or do we need to add this numerical values only?
Where in the ID column?
In name and in location.
Uh-huh. Yes. So in the name and location, anything is allowed. Okay, anything is allowed. Because why? Because for the name, what I had mentioned varchar. Okay, so varchar is what? So varchar is a evergreen data type. So it will allow you to insert technically, it will allow you to insert any type of data. Apart from date value, you can insert any. Okay. Just wait for next 15 minutes. That is our coming scenario only. Because in now only if I will explain, then you guys will get confused. One more scenario I will show, then we will back there. Okay.
I have just one question. Like ID you have mentioned as a number, but we
Mhm.
can also do it as an integer, right?
Yes, correct. That is the correct
And
approach.
but what's the difference between number and integer?
So number and integer here, it will be defined like, you can say if I will mention ID. Okay, like example, here guys, this is for every one of you. So this is integer is what? That is another data type. That is another data type. So here if I will mention ID and integer, for the integer we are using int only. So for int, no need to define length. Okay, why? Because by default it will reserve, integer will reserve the maximum length. Maximum length is 32. So that will be okay. So there it is allowed. Here if I will mention, like imagine ID number 2, then here what type of data I can insert? So here I can insert a data like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like this type of data I can insert, no problem. But if directly if I will mention ID int, okay, then there what type of data I can insert? So I can insert the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This type of data. Apart from that, we can insert a value like 1.87, 1.39, means point or decimal value also we can insert.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
that is the
thanks.
difference. Welcome.
And one more question, like when
Mhm,
we say varchar,
mhm.
even though the 20 number you have given, so 20 characters, even we don't put it 20 characters, we say we are 5 character and rest 15 will be
Yes.
free.
That we will discuss after one scenario. I feel
No,
that you
is
have a
this
light
the
knowledge.
same case with number and integer as well?
Exactly. Which
Okay.
we have discussed about the char and varchar.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so
Oh,
much. Yeah.
welcome. Welcome. Now, rolling back to the actual topic, it happens, guys. Okay. So, because what will happen due to curiosity, the candidate used to ask such a question, which topic is not covered. Like example, one of you had asked integer and so on, but it is fine, no issues. So, remaining, don't get confused. That is also our coming topic only. So, we will discuss like integer in depth and detail. So, I had given answer just for her satisfaction, but that is not the complete answer. The moment topic will start, we will see in depth and detail. Now, rolling back to the actual topic. So, create table. So, anyone have any question how to create a table? Okay. Now, silence means no question. Then now, guys, now we are going to see one more scenario. Okay, for better understanding. So, consider one example. Imagine that you guys are working in Wipro and Bisleri Water is your client. Or imagine Standard Chartered Bank is your client. So, one day the client came and the client told that please create one table with column ID, name, and location. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to create it. How we can create? We can create it on the same manner, how it is created. So observe your syntax, which is written over here. And every one of you tell the syntax in your mind only. Whenever we are doing the practice, just at that time, you tell the syntax in your mind only. So it will be a practice for every one of you. So now observe. So first, what we have written. So guys, here we have written create table. So we will just mention create table. And then what we have written? So we have written table name, whatever table name you want, you can mention. So imagine that Bisleri is the, sorry, Standard Chartered is the client. I will give Standard Chartered only. Understood? Okay, Standard Chartered. So that is fine. So create table, table name. So guys, anyone, can you please confirm? Is there any error on this table name or it is fine? Anyone?
It's fine.
Exactly. It's fine. There is no mistake. Why? Because on the table name, we have not given any space, guys. If there was a space, like example, imagine that if there is a space, then it is a issue. So your table name should not contain any space. Then what is the solution? Solution is you can mention standard charted like this, or you can mention standard underscore charted. Okay,
Any
so
special
that is
character
fine. Both
allowed
are
in here?
no, no, it is not. It is not. Okay. So numerical is allowed.
Okay.
Numerical is fine. Now, so here first we have to mention create table, then table name. Whatever table name you guys want, you can mention. There is no problem. Then here you can see what we have done previously. We had opened the bracket, simply open the bracket. And what is the requirement? ID, name, location. Last time also same requirement was there, correct? So you can just mention ID, same manner. ID number 2 we have written. So ID number 2. Okay, I will write down. Now press enter. Next name varchar 20. So name varchar 20. Now again what? Location I had mentioned. So location varchar 20. Means same to same requirement was there. Same to same thing I had mentioned. How we had mentioned previously. At the last, no comma. Now close the bracket, semicolon. Okay, that's it. So what we have written, create table, same to same guys. Create table, table name, open bracket, close bracket, and whatever column name you guys want, you can mention. Okay, but every column, make sure that you are putting data type and you are putting length. It is mandatory. So here you guys can see what I will do. So observe the previous one. Okay, so here you can see for the name column. Name column last here also I had mentioned varchar, here also varchar. So this one, the new one, I will mention by using char only. Okay, and for the location also, rather than putting varchar, I will mention char. Means I'm telling the SQL that name in future it will contain character value. Location it will contain character value. Okay, so that is fine. And then execute it. Same to same thing, only in place of varchar, I mention char and execute. The moment you execute, guys, observe the data in the output window. Here you can see table got created. Okay, if you guys want to see your table, you have to just mention select start from table name. So what is our table name? Table name is standard chartered. So X semicolon. Okay, so here we can execute it. This is the syntax to see the table. Select star. Star means all the column. Okay. The moment we execute, observe the data in the output window. Here you can see table got created. Okay. Now, so here, observe the syntaxes. Last time, the moment I have created a table, that time I had mentioned create table, table name, and for the name I had mentioned varchar 20. So here, what type of data I can insert? So guys, here I can insert a data like Tom, John, Harry. Okay, these type of data I can insert. But imagine that if my table is created with name, char, and 20, then here what type of data I can insert? So here also I can insert the data uh, Tom, John, and Harry. Okay, same to same value we can insert. There is no problem. Then what is the difference between char and varchar? If I can insert same name by using char also and varchar also, then what is the difference? So guys, the difference between char and varchar is the char. If my or varchar, if my table, imagine that if my table is created with varchar 20, it means what? Means here if I insert a value like John, John, how many space it will occupy? It will occupy 4 space. What about remaining 16 space? So guys, remaining 16 space will get released from the table. Okay, it will get released from the table. If imagine that I will insert a value called Tom, Tom. Tom will occupy how many space? So Tom will occupy 3 space, Tom. What about remaining 17 space? So guys, remaining 17 space will get released from the table. If I will insert a value called Harry, Harry, how many space it will occupy? It will occupy total 5 space. What about remaining 15 space? So remaining 15 space, it will get released from the table. But if my table is created with name, char, and 20, Then what will happen? So guys, over here, so here guys, if my name is char20 and here I will insert a value Tom, Tom, then how many space it will occupy? It will occupy 3 space. What about remaining 17 space? So guys, remaining 17 space will not get released from the table. It will be in the table only. If I will insert a value called John, John, so John will occupy how many space? 4 space. What about remaining 16 space? So remaining 16 space will not get released from the table. It will be in the table only. If I will insert a value called Harry, 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 correct? So Harry will occupy how many space? So it will occupy total 5 space. What about remaining 15 space? So it will not get released from the table. It will be in the table only, due to which your table size will get drastically increased. Okay, so what is the difference between char and varchar? So in both, we can insert same to same value. Okay, same to same value. The difference between char and varchar is varchar will release the extra space from the table. Char will not release the extra space from the table, due to which our table size will get drastically increased. Okay, that is the difference. Now anyone, any question?
So is this a I mean any defect or something like
No
with
defect,
that is not sorry
no defect,
no
defect,
defect. So
no defect. Difference is there. The difference is char will not release the extra space from the table, due to which your table size will get increased. But varchar, it will release the extra space from the table, due to which your table size will not get increased. Second difference is, for the varchar, minimum you have to mention 1, maximum you can give the length 4000. Okay, but for the char, minimum you have to mention 1. Minimum will be 1. Maximum you can mention 2000. Okay. Now,
In which scenarios we prefer to use care?
it completely depends upon the business requirement. Okay. As a ETL tester, we cannot take the decision that whether while creating a table we have to use varchar or we have to use char. It completely depends upon the business requirement, and we will be informed that based on char we have to create or based on varchar we have to create. Okay. But
can you
generally,
just
we
give
are.
me
Mhm.
yeah, can you just give me any business scenario that it's supposed to be mentioned as where care or care? See, that's an
Okay.
example. So I am the one who's supposed to create this database and very
Mhm.
scratch level that they mentioned that
Mhm.
you are the owner of this to create this table. So that what kind
Mhm.
of approach we supposed to follow?
Okay, so if we are very sure that my particular word or my particular content will contain, imagine 10 letters only. Consider example, phone number. If or imagine that for I will go for the name and varchar. So imagine that for the name column. So for the name column, always it will be recommended for the imagine for banking project. It is always recommended that you have to go with the varchar, because no one name length is fixed. So whatever the length will get occupied, that will be in the table. Whatever the extra space will be there, that will be released. But consider another example. Imagine that second scenario for the char, where it is recommended to go for char. So guys, if we are very sure that my this word will contain up to 5 letters only. Okay, example, IFSC code. IFSC code is there. Example, you all are from the Bangalore. So Bangalore is at Bangalore, 9 letters are there. So here I can just mention char 9, because for everyone Bangalore will be 9999 only. Okay, so that is fine, but not mandatory, guys. Anywhere we can mention char, anywhere varchar. But basically it completely depends upon the business requirement. Okay. Okay. Now, anyone else also having any question, guys? Okay, silence means no question. Then we will see one more scenario. Okay. Now, at the beginning of the class, one of you had asked the question. So I have told you just wait for next 15 minutes. So that scenario we are going to see now. So consider one example. Imagine that you guys have got a requirement from the client that create one table with column email ID and PAN card. Email ID and PAN card. Then how we can create it, guys? So we can create it on the same manner. No changes. We can create it on the same manner. No changes. So what I had taught you. So first we have to mention create table, then table name. Correct. I will just mention create table, table name. What is the table name? Imagine that I will just mention China underscore UK. Whatever table name you guys want, you can mention. No problem. Then what we have to do? Press enter, open bracket. So press enter, open bracket. What is the column name they have requested? So guys, column name they have requested email ID. Correct. So we have to mention email ID. So I will just mention email one space ID. So guys, if I will mention email ID like this, can we mention answer is no. Why we cannot mention? This is my requirement. Email ID is requirement. We have to mention. So what is the issue with this? So guys, the issue is that your table name and your column name, it should not contain any space. It should not contain. Then what is the solution? Then the solution is we can mention email ID without any gap, or we can mention email underscore ID. Both are correct approach. Okay, so that is fine. Now we'll mention comma, press enter. What is the next column requirement? So next column is PAN card they want. So I will just mention PAN card. Okay, so guys, is it okay to mention PAN card like this or any issue?
No, there should be no space.
Exactly. There should not be any space, guys. In the running class, I used to ask question. So be cautious. It is a responsibility of everyone to answer. Okay. So from that, what will happen? You will be in the class only. Otherwise, classes will run, laptop, computer, mobile will be open in front of you. Mind will be in the Singham. Okay. Yesterday movie has been released. I didn't watch. Salman Khan is there. Rajnikant is there. Means it happens. We all are human and our brain will not get a stick focus on one place. Okay. So focus here. Now, so that is fine. So what we can mention? We can mention PAN card without any gap, or we can mention PAN underscore card. Both are correct approach, guys. Then press enter and open the bracket, close the bracket, because number of times we used to open the bracket, same number of times we have to close it. So that we had mentioned. And inside the bracket, what we have to do? We have to mention all the column name. That too we had mentioned. That is fine. And then what I had confirmed, guys, at the beginning of the class, that for every column we have to inform SQL that in future what type of data it will contain. Correct. So on the same manner, these are the new column. For this column, we have to inform SQL that in future what type of data it will contain. So email ID. What is the email ID it will contain in future? So guys, maybe the email ID is sweta@gmail.com. Maybe it is sweta123 at gmail.com. Maybe it is 123 sweta at gmail.com. Maybe it is 123 sweta 579 at gmail.com. It could be anything. Maybe it will contain numerical value, maybe not. Maybe it will contain character value, maybe nothing. But mandatory it will contain a special character, like you can say at the rate, dot. Correct. So what we should mention? Full confusion is there. Correct. So if you guys are confused, even though in the real-time scenario also, if you are confused, then blindly here you can mention varchar. Okay, you can mention varchar, or you can mention char also. You can mention char or you can mention varchar. Both are correct approach. Why? Because char and varchar doesn't mean, guys, that it will allow you to insert only character value. Char and varchar is a evergreen data type. It is a evergreen data type which will allow you to insert any type of data. Numerical value also you can insert, character value you can insert, alphanumeric you can insert, a special character you can insert. In one line you can say any type of data you can insert apart from date value. Okay, apart from date value, because for date different data type is there. Okay, so imagine that. So for the email ID, I will mention char. After char, imagine that I will mention 25, 30, 30, anything you can mention. So imagine that I will mention 30. Correct. So for this column, I inform the SQL. Next column is what? So next column is PAN card. PAN card will contain what type of data? So imagine that the PAN card for Imran, for the Imran it is ABC 1234 G. Correct. Because you guys have seen that the PAN card contains alphanumeric value. At the beginning, some character value will be there, middle numerical value, again character value will be there. Correct. Again, confusion is there. What we should mention. So anyone, any idea what we can mention, guys? Just now what I had confirmed, you guys can, if you are confused, what data type I should mention. So
Char.
blindly
Varchar
we
or
can
char.
inform. Yes, we can mention
Varchar.
char or varchar. Anything is fine. Okay, so I will just mention varchar. Okay, that's it. Varchar 15. Close the bracket. That's it. Once it is done, at the last we will put semicolon and execute it. Means inside the bracket, guys, we have to mention all the column name, whatever column name you want, and for every column you have to inform SQL that in future what type of data it will contain. Once it is done, we'll execute. How to execute? Select the entire syntax and hit on this button. Now you can see at the table China UK created. If you guys want to see your table, you have to just mention select star from table name. Okay, China underscore UK and execute it. The moment you execute, observe the data in the output window. We got the column. Whatever the column name you guys have requested or you guys had mentioned, so all those columns will get visible over here. Okay. Now anyone, any question?
So if we want to retrieve some data, so which one is easy and simple, like char or varchar, like
Both,
um,
both, both, both. Easy means both because same thing at both the places there. You can say you can mention char, you can mention varchar, but always maximum time in the real time scenario, you will see varchar. Why? What is the reason for putting varchar maximum time? Because the varchar functionality is one functionality, it will release the extra space from the table. Second functionality is that the space you can define more space. You can define minimum one or maximum 4,000. Correct. That is the thing. But here for the char, what you can do? Minimum one you can mention, maximum 2,000 is the limit. Okay. So that is. Okay. Now anyone, any question, guys? No need
Hi,
to worry. I will
Manish.
not. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, please go on, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I was telling that no worries. I will not start new topic. Otherwise, it will be a pressure on you people. You guys can ask now questions. Now it's your turn.
Okay, this is Deepthi, right?
Hi,
I just
Dipti.
want to know, any real-time scenarios where we face issues regarding the data types?
Yes. So the major issues we will face during the data type is like imagine that we have one table. Okay, we have one table, and imagine that Big Bazaar is Central Mall is the table. You have created this table. Central Mall is there. Correct. So here, what is the column? ID, name, location. Imagine that we have some data over here. How to insert the data? That too, I will teach you guys. So imagine that here we have some data, and these all data from Central Mall table. I want to move it to. Imagine that standard charted in this table. Both are same structure. You can see ID, name, location, ID, name, location. Same length is there. Can we insert all the data from Central Mall to Standard Chartered? Answer is no. Why? What is the issue? So guys, data type is the issue. Okay, data type is the issue. You should have same data type. So if your Central Mall is created with ID number 2, name varchar 20, location varchar 20, then at that time Standard Chartered table should also be have name varchar 20, location varchar 20. Okay, so that is the issue. Another thing, imagine that here number is there, number and 2, and here what it is, so imagine that it is integer, int, then that is also a issue. Should be same to same data type. Okay, next is what, next you can say issues you can face. Like imagine that you have the data in the central module. Here what is the length defined? Length defined is 20. Imagine that standard charted is there. Here we have varchar. Consider example. We have varchar, and but length is not matching. Length is less than 20. Then also it is a challenge. Why? What is the issue? The issue is l- length also it should be same to same. Data type should be same to same, and length also should be same to same. Otherwise, what will happen? Data will not get inserted. Reason? What is the reason? Consider one day-to-day example. Imagine that I have one carry bag. Okay, imagine that I have one carry bag and it contains 20 kg potato. In that put 20 kg potato is there. Next carry bag you are having varchar and imagine 15. So capacity is what? 15 kg only. Correct. Means a small length you have defined. So lesser strength is there. Then what will happen? Is it possible to transfer all the 20 kg potato to 15 kg carry bag? No. Some of the potatoes will get distributed here and there on the floor. Correct. So length also it should be same to same. That is the issue. That is our scenarios. In the coming days in depth and detail we will discuss. Okay. That is the challenge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What if in case if you have not mentioned any the data type, so what kind of
Mhm.
error message is supposed to thrown up?
Yes, column not supportable, it will be there. And many more. Imagine that, consider example that we are creating a table. Okay, one name, sir. By any means, by any scenario, imagine that we didn't mention the data type. Consider example. Let me just copy paste this one for safer side. I will just change the table name underscore USA. And while creating a table, imagine that you missed to mention the data type. Okay, data type you didn't mention. Then the moment you will execute, guys, here you will see it will throw error. Now observe the thing. Clear cut instruction. Invalid data type means where you have done the mistake, that to error it will display. Means in the table, somewhere data type is missing. Okay. Now any question? So for
How
every
about
column, guys, it is mandatory to mention the data type and length.
okay,
Mhm.
and so you mentioned that the table
Sorry, hello. Table name.
sorry, a table name without spaces, we have to mention the table name, right?
Yes, your
So the
table name
same,
should not contain any
yeah,
space.
okay, in the same
If you will
kind,
mention invalid table name, you will get. If you will mention wrong table name, then you will get the notification invalid table name.
okay, in the column structure I'm talking about, a column structure also you mentioned that make sure you have there is no spaces in between that.
Yes, for the column also, no space. Table name and column name should not contain any space.
Okay.
Okay. If you will give some space over here, imagine that everything you have written properly. Okay, varchar and here, if you had given a space, consider, so it is wrong. Technically, it is wrong the moment you will execute. So here you can see. Okay, wait. I will just mention over here varchar. So here it is fine. And I will mention wrong table name. So this is wrong table name. Okay. And the moment you will execute, observe the data in the output window. You can see right parenthesis. Somewhere parenthesis means here in the column you have done the mistake. Okay. either call parenthesis issue means either in the column name you have done mistake, or over somewhere bracket is not mentioned properly. Somewhere it is open, but maybe it is not fully closed. Now, now anyone,
And
any question?
so for now,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for now we have just created tables only. Then,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not sure whether we are going to talk about that
No, no,
in next.
that is a separate thing. You can ask question. No, no need to
Okay,
be
no,
your
no, no.
surety for the
My
question.
question is,
Directly you can ask.
so we haven't
Hmm.
created any database, right? So we without database we can't create any tables, or which one is the first? First,
No, no,
we have to create tables, or we
no,
have to create database.
no, no. Actually, these all table which we are creating. Okay, these all table which we are creating, it is in the database only. The moment
Okay.
you will do the installation of the software, at that time we will create the database. Okay,
But
you
we
have
don't
not
know,
done
right,
the
what exactly the database name which we are supposed to work on.
Oracle.
Oracle
Oracle
is
database.
database. So that is what.
Oracle. Oracle is the database. The moment we will do the
You will
installation of
be
the software, the moment we will doing the installation of the software, at that time only we have to create the schema.
So what is that
you,
in that case? What is the Informatica then?
Here we have, so Informatica will be used to transfer the data from one table to another table. Technically,
Okay.
Informatica will be used for transferring the data from the source table to the target table. Technically, you can say, in the previous class data warehouse, we were discussing that it is our responsibility to maintain the data in the data mart. Data in the data mart table will be there, particular schema. Okay, so that transferring the data will be done by the Informatica. Non-technically can say from the source table to target table, it will be used. Okay, Informatica we will see once our SQL is done. Means
Okay.
it will start after 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
Mhm.
uh, will
You
you
may.
be giving us some instruction about how to install the SQL, the developer, and also the Oracle in the backend, and
Yes,
how to
definitely,
integrate them?
definitely, definitely,
Yeah, because
definitely.
till now we have not
Mhm.
got any software from Kumar sir.
Okay, okay. No problem. You just contact Kumar. Maybe he has missed. I will also pass the message to him. He will share it. No issue. Okay, today only
Yeah.
you guys will get it. Today
Okay.
only you guys will get it. After the class, I will
Yeah,
just inform.
maybe
You
if
will
you
get it.
get it today itself, then tomorrow onwards we'll practice with you. Unless without practice,
Exactly.
with from at
Without
the same
practice
time.
theory,
Yeah,
without practice theory
we'll
is nothing. Okay,
yes,
that is that. Because anything, do theory one time, for the same theory, do the practice 10 times. Whatever
exactly.
the things you are study one time, do the practice 10 times. Without practice, we will have only illusion. Just take one day, basic example. Imagine that I am your swimming trainer. I am going to teach you guys how to do swimming. Okay. What I told that every one of you watch me. I will go and stand in the bank of river. From the corner, I will jump. Okay. And I will do my hands and legs up and down. From that, what will happen? I will able to swim. I will, if you two, you all will perform the same task. You two will jump into the river and you will do your hands, legs up and down. Then what will happen? You will see that you are going to the bottom of the river. And where I am floating on the river. Why? What is the issue? Later on, you will come. You will say, Vishnu, you were doing hands leg up and down. You were swimming. I was doing legs up and down. I am not able to swim. Is there anything else? Answer is yes. Like anything else is practice. You practice is missing to float on the water for 10 minutes. I have done the practice minimum 10 hours, and that is your first time. That's why you were going for the bottom of the river. So that's why for anything, practice mandatory. Okay. Now,
Vinay, I have a doubt.
anyone? Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, actually, you have created the tables over here straight away, right? So
Hmm?
before that, if you see the plus sign,
Hmm.
I think there is an option to create a database which we can name, right?
Yeah, this one. Yes, yes,
Uh,
it is there. The moment
can you click once
you will
for us?
install, Yeah, the moment
The
you will do
arrow.
the installation of the software, na, so at that time I have that there you will see. Okay, so here username, password, give the things will be done. Okay.
Hmm.
These two are means the schema. Technically, it is schema,
Schemas. Okay. Yes.
and here only we have the table. Currently, we are performing the task under Oracle SRC schema. Schema is what? Collection of the table.
Hmm.
Now, anyone, any question, guys?
Vishnu,
Mm-hmm.
if we have integer, sorry, we have entered the value as an integer, and if
Mm-hmm.
we give the character value, pass the character value,
Mm-hmm.
then will what
No,
value? No.
no, it will not get inserted. Integer or number will allow you to insert only numerical value. Apart from that, nothing. Okay, but varchar, and char, it will allow you to insert any type of
Mm-hmm.
data apart from date value. Okay,
Okay.
okay, no problem.
It will
Mhm.
just leave the field blank. It won't enter the garbage value as well there.
No garbage, no garbage. Only blank is allowed. Blank
Okay.
null allowed. Okay, but any another data, answer is no. Imagine that I will say that I will accept the tuition fees only in the INR. Apart from INR, if you will give any currency like Bangla Taka, Pakistani currency, German currency, UK currency, what I told, no. Correct. So same thing means here integer or number will allow you to insert only numerical value. Apart from that, if you will do, it will not get inserted. It will directly, it will throw error. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So tomorrow, as
Then
today the time doesn't permit,
suppose
tomorrow.
Vishnu,
Yeah, tell me.
yeah, one last question. So in that case, you see, ID is nothing but it's always it replicates to any number only, right?
No, 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 wrong.
No.
It is not
Okay.
mandatory or not
Oh,
mandatory. Imagine that you are working in Wipro. What is your employee ID? It is only numerical value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the employee ID.
right.
That is fine. But on the same manner, imagine that if someone is working in the Infosys, what is his employee ID? So it is employee ID is info 1, info 2, info 3, info 4, info 5, like that. Alphanumeric value is there.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. That
Okay.
is possible. So that is if that is there, then for the Infosys alphanumeric value is there, then what type of data type we can mention? Either char or varchar. Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for the ID, if we are very sure that in the future I will insert only numerical value. Example, bank account number. Example, contact number. Example,
Okay.
pin code. Means if we are very sure that in future I will insert only numerical value, then at that time it is recommended to go with the number or integer. If any doubt is there, no, maybe number, maybe alphanumeric, maybe both, then what is the
Mm-hmm.
best solution? Best solution is char or varchar.
But okay.
No, no,
For this integer, what is the minimum value and maximum value we're supposed to enter?
no. For the integer, you need not to mention anything. Okay, as I didn't taught the topic integer, that's why I'm not going in the deep. But just for your reference, I'm telling that how we have to mention integer. Imagine that I want to create a table. Okay, so first let me just copy paste. For here, imagine that one more column in this table. I want
Okay.
ID, number. Imagine that 5 I have mentioned. That is fine because number, and here imagine that underscore 4. The table name I have changed. So imagine that here ID number 5 is there. Number data type I had given. So here I had mentioned numerical value. Minimum I have to mention 1, maximum 32. It is mandatory. Okay.
No.
If I will not mention number, then I can mention int also. Int.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so that's it. For the int, it stands for integer. And for the integer, no need to mention anything, nor 1, nor 5, nor 32. Directly int. And then execute it. The moment you execute, observe the data in the output window. Okay, sorry.
Comma. You can remove the comma
No, comma will be there.
over there. Okay.
What is the maximum limit int will take if we are not
32.
mentioning the end?
Maximum length will take 32. Okay. By default, maximum. It will always reserve the maximum one. Now you can see here China 4 table got created for the ID int. Okay. For the integer, no need to mention any length. By default, it will reserve 32.
Okay.
Okay. Now anyone, any question? Okay. Silence means no question. Then we are
One
done
more
for the
question.
day. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, if you don't mention for the int, by default it is taking 32. How about the space allocation?
So space,
Like
it will
how?
reserve means extra space it will be removed. Same like varchar.
Okay. Oh, where care? Okay.
Same
Okay.
like varchar. Means it is not like for every record it will reserve 32 space. No. If you will insert, imagine that 29, then it at that time it will reserve only 2 space. If you will insert a value called 385, then it will reserve 3 space. Okay, like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Mm.
no problem. Now, anyone else also? Any question, guys? Okay, silence means no question. Then we are done for the day. Again, we will connect tomorrow. Same time, same link. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank
Now
you,
you guys,
Vishnu.
Thank you.
thank
Bye.
Bye.
you.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. For more information, you guys can contact Kumar. He will guide you for all the things. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.